But I want to start on the news today with the big story from Bengaluru. It's one of the biggest ever demolition drives ever undertaken in Bengaluru. Hundreds of buildings, homes, shops have been brought down in the past week. The Civic Authority says it's following orders. The question is, what about the residents who've been living there for decades? One of them is the family of Pathankot attack martyr Lieutenant Colonel Niranjan Kumar.
Eight months ago, he laid down his life for the country. Lieutenant Colonel Niranjan Kumar martyred in the Pathankot terror attack, battling terrorists from across the border. VVIPs flocked to his house, loaded with praise, mouthing salutes. Now, even as the martyred soldier looks on impassively from a garlanded photograph, the sounds outside of bulldozers in a demolition drive are a stark reminder of what the future for his family can be. For now, this same house, where Colonel Niranjan's body was placed to pay last tributes, faces demolition. It's the terror of these bulldozers the martyr's family is now fighting, battling to save their home, which the Bangalore Civic body now says was built on an illegal plot. For Colonel Niranjan's family, it's a double whammy. First, the loss 8 months ago of their loved one, and now the prospect of losing the very roof over their heads. But why should this family pay for the greed of politicians, babus and builders, all of whom colluded to rid the garden city of its lakes and greenery? Why should this middle-class family suffer because the Bangalore Civic body turned a blind eye to illegal construction? And why should Colonel Niranjan's family lose its home and hard-earned money when politicians and babus fattened on corruption do not have a single worry on their minds?
So is the demolition drive in Bengaluru reckless or much needed? Is the question that we are asking with two guests. Joining me now is Shashank. He is the brother of the martyr Niranjan Kumar. And also joining me N.A. Harris. He's a MLA from the Congress party. I appreciate both of you joining us. Shashank, to you first. The Bangalore authorities or the Bengaluru authorities are making it very clear that exceptions cannot be made in one case. They sympathize with your case. Your brother was tragically martyred, but they are saying they cannot make an exception if there are pillars in the house of Niranjan Kumar which were on encroached land, on an area which needs to be now cleared for storm water drains. They have no choice but to go ahead. How do you respond that an exception cannot be made simply because your brother is a martyr?
Niranjan has served for the country. It's not for something in which he has served. He has served for the nation. He has sacrificed his life for the nation. And if exemption is not made, then it's a shame for the country, shame for us, shame for our family. But I have also requested them to give us some time so that we would demolish ourselves so that we can build a new pillar and then demolish the existing pillar. I think exception may not be possible because
exemption may not be possible. You are accepting that an exemption may not be possible, so you are asking for some time and you would like to do the demolition yourself. Am I correct?
Yes.
Let me turn to Mr. Harris. Mr. Harris, there are a number of people. This is one case that we have highlighted, Mr. Harris, but there are a number of cases of people who are saying that these demolitions are going on in a manner which is arbitrary. Residents have not been taken into confidence, have not been given enough time, even as the officials who are responsible in many cases for the illegalities that have sprung up in Bengaluru in collaboration, in partnership, in a nexus with builders have got away. Is this the case or not? Has this been arbitrary, Mr. Harris? Has this entire manner in which this has been done arbitrary? Have you done it in a reckless manner?
No, see, there was a big flood in Bangalore city. Lot of houses and lot of people are have been homeless, and they are brought onto the road, and it was a very difficult situation in the city. And after that, the Chief Minister gave a direction that we have to take action and we have to set right wherever the encroachment have happened on the stormwater drains, that is Raj Kalways and other drains which are connected to the tanks. All those had to be cleared.
Sir, but I take your point, but did it require a flood, sir?
They are not.
Sir, did it require a flood?
Mr.
Harris, did it require a flood for you to wake up? For years, these encroachments have been growing. I'm not saying it is wrong.
I do agree.
I'm not saying it is wrong, but you cannot do it suddenly overnight because a flood takes place. A lot of this should have happened earlier.
I do agree with you.
Will you act against builders? Will you act against the builders? Will you act against the officials?
No, I do agree. I do agree with you. But that is not the only thing. See, it has to happen one day. You cannot just say, okay, now when we do, it should have done earlier. But it's happening now. It should have done earlier. That I do agree with you for that. There is no doubt about it. But now it has to be done. So now when it is being done, there is so much of hue and cry. And these people knew it was not right what they were doing. Knowingly, many people have done this. A few have done unknowingly also.
Sir, but the question
if you don't clear it, then what?
Sir, I am not holding a brief. I am not holding a brief for residents who today are on encroached land. Nobody is saying that, and even here you have Shashank saying that they are ready, in a sense, to demolish the pillar which was blocking a stormwater drain. They are not trying. They are not saying that what they have done is not wrong. They are ready to do that. My point is the builders and the officials who are involved in this nexus, obviously in connection, some believe, with local politicians. What is being done about them? Will action be taken? I know some officials have now been acted against, but what about the politicians? What about the builders? The entire master plan for a city like Bengaluru, while it was being developed, nobody acted against it. Did it require a flood to wake up?
No, we have to appreciate our Chief Minister and the government. We have to appreciate our Chief Minister and government. Already actions have been initiated on the officers, and action will follow on everybody whoever are involved in this.
The malls and the five-star hotels, today which are on floodplains, the 65 lakes that have been encroached upon by builders, the fact that 112 of your 835 lakes are dead. Will you act against them?
Let us be very clear.
Will you act against the malls and five-star hotels? Or will you say that the malls and five-star hotels will also get an exemption?
Now one by one we will do. We can't do everything in a night and clear it. No, we will start. We'll go ahead and we'll do it one by one. Everything will happen. Things will get cleared. So before it repeats, we want to clear things.
Will you act against VVIPs, sir?
Anybody, VIP, VVIPs, nobody will be spared. Nobody should be spared and nobody will be spared.
Shashank, are you convinced with what you are hearing?
It is
from Mr. Harris, or do you believe that in a way that your family has suffered like many others? Do you believe, therefore, the legislator when he said that VVIPs will be also acted against?
It is left to the government to act on that. But I would also tell one thing, that he just said Niranjan is anybody. It is not like that. See, Niranjan has died for the country. Do you know what Niranjan is? I don't think so. The person who is talking away knows what Niranjan is. He has served for the nation. He is an NSG commando, and he was a leader of the bomb squad. He has disposed around 3,000 kgs of bombs. He was a FBI trained.
Sir, but you can't then make exceptions. Sir, but Shashank, let me be honest. We cannot make let's be fair to the Bangalore authorities.
We are not making as an exception. We are not making an exception. I'm saying that they should show some respect to the soldier.
I think we have a lot of respect.
It is not that they come one overnight and then start the demolition.
We value Niranjan's life being sacrificed for this country, but then the rules and regulations of the government and the country also has to be seen. No,
Mr. Harris, you suddenly now throwing rules and regulations at the family, at a family which has suffered a tremendous loss. You are throwing rules and regulations. The fact is, for years you never threw these rules and regulations.
No. Because
why did Bangalore reach this stage?
That is why we are having this problem.
Why did Bangalore reach this stage?
We have to set right those things. No.
Sorry, I can intervene here.
Okay, Mr. Harris,
do they need 100 years to actually come up with the solution? The map which shows the Rajakal way.
Right. So you're saying a 100-year-old map was
Hello?
shown to you.
Yeah.
A 100-year-old map was shown to you, and it is on basis
It
of
was,
the
it was somewhat, it was nearly, it was, yes.
This is not a solution. This is not a
I
solution.
understand that. I understand
this is
that
just
we
being
should follow
clearing
the rules.
whatever
The
is
rules are
encroached.
made
There
for
is no
everyone.
solution
The
as
rules
such.
are made for
See,
everyone.
100 years old, it shows it is a Raj Kalwe, and even after 100 years old, after even 100 years, it should be a Raj Kalwe. That's all it is.
Well, at the end of the day,
There is nothing
at
other
the
than
end of
that
the
government
day,
is
Then why
asking.
was
No.
it given-
What was there, that should be continued to be the same.
sir, the sadness here is that government.
No,
we have
who
never
gave
told
it?
that, we have
Who
never
gave
told that.
Sir, one by one. I think
It
it's-
was done illegally. That is the whole issue.
Sir,
it was
when-
not done legally.
Sir, you are now saying it was done illegally. Clearly,
We are
done illegally.
accepting
That's
it
why
is done.
it is
Clearly
being
for years
demolished
people
now.
lived there. Clearly for years people lived there. Nobody said a word. Now after a flood last month you've woken up. You will say better late than never.
Do agree, I agree,
Residents
but
are
it was
saying
not- it was not
this is
done legally,
arbitrary
no.
and reckless. But I will leave it there. At the end of the day, I think you have to look at your conscience as politicians and ask yourselves whether you've done the right thing. And I think Shashank, you and your family have to accept sadly that no exceptions can be made. I only wish that this can be handled better and some basic respect is shown to Niranjan's family who are asking for a little bit more time. I think that word respect should be certainly shown to a martyr's family. On the other hand, the Bengaluru government must make sure, if I see, sir, any other build, if I see any VVIP who's allowed to get away, sir, then that will be the ultimate shame, Mr. Harris. If you allow VVIPs to get away, even as a martyr is forced to, his family is forced to
surely
demolish a pillar,
I am
then we
also
will
there
see.
with you in
If
that
someone
fight,
who has a
nobody should be
five-star hotel
spared.
or a mall is allowed
Nobody
to get
should
away,
be spared. Whoever has violated as
we
far
will
as
see,
the
sir.
Raj Kalwe
We
and
will
other
see.
stormwater drains are concerned.
okay, we will see whether somebody
Nobody
is
should be
spared or not.
spared. We all are fighting for that.
We will see,
want
sir.
Bangalore
Those are
to be
nice
safe.
words. Those are nice words. Whether those words will actually be implemented.
Should be spared. And Niranjan's family, I have my sympathy with them, and we have a lot of respect for that warrior who has sacrificed his life. But that is not the issue here. Is because everybody has to be following the rule, and now if they need some time, I also recommend the officials that they should be given a little time.
I will see how many builders are arrested, sir. I will see how many builders are arrested for violating rules. That will be the real test. The real test will be how many builders, how many local politicians and how many officials.
Private person, whoever has done mistake should be punished.
Sir, I want to see if they are punished. We will see, sir. Sir, we will see. You are saying it on a TV show. We will actually see how many builders, how many politicians and how many officials are arrested.
Anybody is been left out, please do highlight. We will see that action is initiated.
Okay, we will wait and see.
We will see that action is initiated if anywhere anybody is spared.
Okay, Shashank and
we are all there
and
together.
Mr. Harris, I appreciate your joining us. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.